Hello everybody. We are going to make this beautiful sunflower that I designed, and it is available on my blog, ToniImlay.com, and then probably in my Etsy shop, which under the same name, Toni Imlay Designs, I believe. And anyway, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I made one little step and I did the first layer on that one. So together we will do this. So I ink blended, and these are the colors I'm using. I don't know, it's like teddy bear brown. These are some old stamps, you know, pads that I have, and this one. And first I used it and just ink blended here kind of in the center, and hopefully it's totally probably shaking the camera, but oh well, life's hard, right? Just add some excitement. So I kind of do that in the center and the first part. Obviously this part's going to be covered up, but you do want to have that part, the edges of the petals kind of covered. And then I go and put this on the ends. We'll work our way around it. I know, to prevent that thing from shaking, I might have to attach something to the wall, my camera stand. It's just when I ink blend. When I do other stuff, it stays still. So you're just along for the ride for a minute. It's not going to be doing this forever. So you put that on, and then I touch up the center, those parts again, underneath with this brown, because you kind of want it to show. And then I also use the brown on my center just to kind of make, and it's really kind of cool if you guys, it's amazing what you can do with ink blending. You can totally change the color of cardstock. I will show you on a little scrap here in a second. So here's the top, very top center, and it really doesn't change it a whole much because these are both browns. But for example, okay, this color, if I'm going to add a brown to it, you know, it can totally, you can see it changes. And then the darker I do it, this is kind of more textured cardstock. And then you can see what originally it is. And then I add this lighter to it, and it totally changes it too. So you can see in the center there. And then if you have whites, you know, you obviously can make whatever you want, and you could, you know, ink blend certain areas, and then you could do cut dyes out of it. Anyway, endless possibilities. So this color is what I used, was Scattered Straw by Tim Holtz. And throw my papers all around. Okay. So with this, so I use my little spatula here, and I don't even know, Silhouette, my cool little spatula, so handy. I've had it for years and years. So I put a crease down the center like that, and then as I'm going to work myself around, I'm going to curl, you know, like when you're curling ribbon. That's kind of what I'm doing. So put my crease down the center like on a petal, and I could do more creases if I wanted. This is just kind of how I wanted to do this particular flower today. I've been having so many beautiful sunflowers outside my house right now, and the last bit, and I am loving them. The bees are loving them, the birds are loving them. I have this little tiny clip of video where the cute little birds are sitting on top of the flowers that have lost their leaves, and they're full of seeds, and they are so cute. They just, just dip over, like bend their little bodies over, and then they go and they eat the seeds out. And they just sit there for a while and just eat the seeds and just enjoy the sunflowers like me. So it's so cute. So that's what inspired me, the sunflowers outside, to design these sunflowers. And I will show you in a sec here what else, but what's your favorite flower? Obviously mine is sunflowers. It's, you know, but I do love all flowers. I love to design all flowers. I love to make, you know, I love to color all flowers. I love to take pictures of all flowers. Growing up, it was flowers and sunsets I was always taking. I remember as a teenager, we still have the most beautiful sunsets here. We live in the desert, kind of, and just getting those summer sunsets, and I'd be out taking pictures, and that was back in the day when we just had film, and you know, it was a little more expensive to develop your film, but it sure was. I sure enjoyed those pictures, and I just enjoyed taking them and being out there at sunset. I love sunrises too, so I like both ends of the day and the middle, all in between. Okay, so where I made it around that way, I'm gonna put the crease, kind of make it again, and then curl the other side, and then work myself way around the other side. Do the same thing this way. It'll be a little faster because I have the crease. But we try to add, the more texture, the more you can kind of manipulate the paper, kind of gives a more 3D effect. Kind of makes it more realistic. And it's awesome that you can, you know, maybe you don't have a certain color in your scrapbook, your paper stash, you know, grab one that's kind of similar and then use your stamps and change it, make any color you want. That's what's awesome about crafting, is you just get to be creative, make things in, you know, individual, make your personality, you know, come out in them. And everybody doesn't have to love it as long as you do. Just don't worry about what other people think. If you love something. Okay, so here, I'm just creasing those centers. You can kind of see that. Just kind of, like I said, adds dimension, makes it more realistic. And then I'm going to curl the very end up, or back, I should say. I like the little sunflowers. I have to go check out my blog. I'll have a little blog post about this and all the bunch of pretty pictures that I've taken of my sunflowers. I'm slightly obsessed, but that's okay. I can be me, right? Okay, so we've got our center and the back piece, and I did the same thing. One of these, this one is just a little bit shorter than the other one. We're gonna layer it. But first, this little piece, and I stamped kind of the first part front. I'm gonna curl up just the edges, so it kind of adds dimension. And that's like that. And this kind of sounds crazy, and it's like, sometimes you always worry about doing something that you can't undo, but it really does work out good. So literally crumble it up. And I cut it with a really thick paper cardstock. But I would imagine with this with a smaller, thinner, you just have to be a little more careful, but this is really thick. So I can like bend it up, but it kind of really adds, like if you look at a real sunflower, they have a bunch of tiny little tiny, I don't even know what they're called, I should know. But it would take a lot of work to make a flatter sunflower like this with that kind of a center. So this is about as close as you get there. So we layer this. Get my glue working. Seems like it gets camera shy. I know my pen. Try her close. Where did it go? It's hiding, it's hiding. No one knows where. Do you guys know that little reading? My grandma was beautiful. There it is. Did lovely readings. I don't know if you've ever heard of readings before. It's like you kind of like tell stories, but with a lot of emotion. And my mom, it was important for her for us to actually learn readings. And we each kind of had one of ours, and that one's mine. I'm hiding, and no one knows where. For all I can see are my toes and my hair. I won't, you know, leave you in suspense for the next, but the rest of it. Anyway, so you layer it up and kind of alternate those leaves. And I'm just using, I think it's Artiste glue, but I'll tell you, that stuff just seems to get kind of shy when it's out here. Okay, then I do that centerpiece. And if you wanted to, you could totally leave it like that, but I really like the other part. So this one, I'm going to do kind of through there, because if I did the top part, I might really miss, you know, get where the glue would show, even though it dries clear. But there you go. There's a beautiful sunflower. And these are the same. You just depending on the how much ink you use to do that, to distress, or to ink blending. And then I have another little post that how I made the cool little brick. So I designed that. But anyway, thanks for joining me.